David, you were a member of Congress. Ned Foley last hour brought up the possibility of impeachment. Do you think something like that is realistic here?
It is not based on the past performance of the current majority, but it should be, Lindsay. And I appreciate you bringing that up. Look, I don't disagree at all with what Joyce said, particularly with the criminal investigation. You do have to do your due diligence, your investigation, and so forth. Impeachment is purely a political process where the House of Representatives can essentially indict based on their opinion as whether or not the president's behavior violated the Constitution, his use of his office, his behavior as a candidate for president. We have the tape. And what I would urge incoming Speaker Pelosi to do, should she be confirmed again shortly as the Speaker, convene the new House Judiciary Committee this week, play the audio tape, authenticate it, take an up or down vote on whether or not the president should be impeached. That is a political process within their jurisdiction. And what stands on the line in this moment, Lindsay, is not just Donald Trump. It is the integrity of the House of Representatives as an institution, whether or not they will allow this behavior to go checked or unchecked. No Susan Collins concerns and anxiety statements from House Democrats in this moment. We want action. Hold the president accountable.
So, Joyce, to David's point there, I know that you've said that we need to listen to the entire tape and we can't jump to conclusions. But if the entire tape is as damning as some of the clips that we've heard so far and the reporting from the Washington Post have turned out to be, outside of impeachment, are there any other ramifications, avenues right now open to Congress?
Well, I think that there are avenues open to Congress, but sort of going on along with what David is saying, what I would want to do as a prosecutor is open an investigation now, because listening to these snippets of tape, it's clear that there's a possibility of extortion charges. There's a possibility of wire fraud charges. There's a possibility of some campaign, some electioneering charges. And if I was a Georgia state prosecutor, I might want to look at solicitation charges. There's not a federal solicitation crime here because that requires a threat of violence. But Georgia's state solicitation law is an entirely different matter. So there's the possibility of an investigation in Georgia at the same time that there's a federal criminal investigation. I think the importance of that for Congress is this, Lindsay. As David says, this is a question about the integrity of our government, the integrity of the House, the integrity of the presidency, the integrity of the Justice Department. And whether or not there's ultimately criminal prosecution, there needs to be truth. The American people need to understand what's happened during this presidency. And most importantly, it's clear listening to this tape, we need to take strong steps to make sure it can never be repeated again.